Busquets, offering his perspective, questioned the timing of the decision and its implications for Florida, given its proximity to Cuba.
Marco Rubio, who is of Cuban descent and also a representative of the state of Florida, where the anti-Cuba lobby in the United States is based, will most likely not support the lifting of that designation on Cuba. Cuba and the rest of the world have been calling for removing Cuba from that list, which the Biden administration refused to do.
He highlighted the economic toll of the 63-year embargo on Cuba, suggesting that lifting it could pave the way for a new era of commerce between the two nations.
In a world where the US dollar has been accepted up until now as the currency of world trade, unable to use the US dollar, it means that Cuba has for 63 years been unable to do what all other countries do. Today, as we speak, Cuba's electricity stations, which are age-old and work by power, by oil and gas, they are down, but Cuba cannot provide the fuel.
With Trump's history of a hardline stance on Cuba, Busquets noted the uncertainty surrounding the future of these changes as the new administration takes office.
The announcement on Wednesday by the U.S. State Department that it had finally raised the designation of state sponsor of terrorism from Cuba. That is good news, and it is has been welcomed by Cuba and the rest of the world as being a necessary step that would enable Cuba to overcome some of the challenges that it continues to face.
This development marks a significant rollback of the sanctions imposed during Trump's previous term, potentially setting the stage for a renewed dialogue between the U.S. and Cuba.
Until and unless that criminal punishing embargo is lifted, Cuba is going to continue to suffer, and it is going to continue to be a sandwich between the Republican and Democratic parties and their leaders as they fight to see which can best do the worst to Cuba.
Busquets' reflections underscore the complexities and the potential ramifications of this diplomatic shift as the world watches how U.S. and Cuba relations will evolve under the incoming administration. For the GBS News World, Manasseh Stanislaus reporting.